Greetings everyone and welcome back to Kadic Reviews. Idea Factory and Compel are two companies I've talked about at length on this channel through two of their games, Record of Argus War and most notably Mega Dimension Neptunia V2, have been kind of a guilty fandom of mine. They've done 3 games, and we're going to talk about the first of the 8th generation now, Omega Quintet. And thank God it's the first of the generation, because it's quite frankly the least fun. And the least polished too. Looks like a borderline PS3 game, obviously. But every Compel Heart game has a quirk. What's its quirk? Japanese pop idols. Yeah, unlike Record of Argus War, which goes with your standard medieval fantasy, and unlike Mega Dimension, that's one big meta video game within a video game world statuary, where Omega Quintet plays out like if the Power Rangers were all of a sudden Japanese pop stars. In this world, they battle the Blair using their song power. The Blair have conquered most of the living world, and there's only one city left, kind of like RPM, to make a Power Rangers reference. And it's up to the verse maidens who actually broadcast their battles with the Blair to gain support to hold the final city in play. You play mainly as the verse maidens themselves, but it mostly centers around 2 characters. Atoa, the new leader of the verse maidens, after the old one, Momoka, retires due to old age and low song power. But Toa isn't necessarily all that great either. That is, unless she's surrounded by Takt, who manages to boost her verse maiden power to extraordinary levels because of the connection they have as friends. But through Compel Heart's usual affection system, it can be more than that. But I'll get to that. Throughout the course of your journey, you'll be learning about being a verse maiden, as well as meeting 4 others: the tomboyish Kananeko, the sweet innocent gun nut Nene, and the all-business Kyoka from another agency of verse maidens in another city. But you'll also run into the mysterious Arya as well. Arya pretty much is your typical Compel Heart twist character. You see, in every Compel Heart game, there's at least one character that provides the traditional twist in the storyline. And Arya is that character, and the storyline twist is about as predictable as you could even think of. It's not really a good twist, and nothing of praise should come of it. But that's only the first frailty in this game, with a lot of good ideas, but poorly executed. The first is in the game's combat system. The combat system is traditional turn-based fare, except for 2 very noticeable differences: a close, medium, far range setup that doesn't play any point other than in lower difficulties, a per turn stat boost, where either you or the enemy, for that matter. And of course, secondly, Secondly, the big difference is action count. Every time you defeat an enemy, you will gain one extra action on your additional turn. The amount of actions you have at the beginning is based on your weapon proficiency. From 1 to 10, each of the verse maidens can be proficient in the choice of one of these 5 weapons: guns, nay specialty, fans, hammers, spears, and knuckles. Each of these with their different combos and different special attacks that you can unlock via disc analysis. In other words, this game's version of Crystallarium from Final Fantasy XIII. Every time you level up, you'll gain points to put into the disc chain. Every one that you level up opens up another bubble with access to either an attack, a stat boost, or even raising the amount of attacks you can set in your different character trees. Things like healing spells, your basic attacks, and your stat changers, as well as signature special move attacks. But even the signature special moves have nothing on the other couple of twists. Live concert mode, in which you'll literally go into a concert with Japanese pop playing in the place of traditional panel music, and fulfill requests for the audience. Fulfilling request enables more enhanced points for building material, as well as support from the fans, as well as keeping the concert alive. As long as one of the first maidens doesn't go down, live concert is always active until the voltage runs out, as well as giving you experience boosts at the end of the battle once you win. The other, however, harmonics, is more akin to Record of Argus War's chain skill comp system. Using the turn order and having the first maidens going one after the other, you can link these hyper powerful chain attacks using Toxed action count, which also will lead me into that in a minute. Using these chain attacks are highly devastating and can kill bosses in a flash, as well as overkill the lower enemies, which will give you rare items for enhancement and subquests, as well as additional experience. Utilizing these systems makes experience gain extremely easy in the game, and especially in the late game. Enemies that would normally be hard on other difficulties are pushovers on the easier ones. But that also leads me to the game's next flaw, the paired defense system. And that has to do with the affection system. As is Compel Art tradition at this point, each of their games has a relationship dating sim hidden within it in some cases, in which Talk, the only male character, and Anato's childhood friend, but he's also the manager of the group known as Omega Quintet, which, by the way, the name is only technically used once throughout the entire game. You can fall in love with one or many of the verse maidens to get special endings. You do this by gaining affection, by either watching cutscenes play out in the office, which lead to some actually funny jokes of dialogue, or by using the paired or group defenses. However, the amount you gain from the latter is so minimal that you'll have to use the game's X-Men-like training facility to hot boost the affection. Why would you want to do this? For the true ending of the game. As per usual with Compel Art Idea Factory games, there are multiple endings depending on what you achieve in affection. By achieving maximum affection with both Arya and Atoa, you can gain used to the true ending. But you'll have to spam the paired defense in order to get that done because there's not enough vocal cues in the office for the affection to be reached in time by chapter 9, the final chapter of the game. If you don't, you essentially get a troll ending that, without any certain words, gives no conclusion to the storyline, nor no true final boss fight. This can be disheartening. Over 77 hours I've played Omega Quintet, not to gain the true ending, mainly because of one missed subquest, and oh, by the way, you have to complete all the in-town subquests, which amount to fetch quests, but each of these quests are timed via chapter break. If you do not accomplish them by the time you reach the next chapter, you will fail them, meaning you have to put the subquest on priority once you attain them, and getting through the map to find the many answers to the subquest are not clearly explained, nor does the map, even though it divides into multiple sections, do that clearly on the map. You won't know what location they're specifically talking about unless you run into the enemies, especially for item hunts, that they're looking for. Other than that, the game does no help in its in-game progression outside of experience. Maps are filled in by your own footsteps, not fully given, something that was corrected in Mega Dimension and Fairy Fencer later. But even for this game, it's unexcusable because of the nature of the true ending requirements. The true ending requirements are some of the worst true ending requirements I have seen in video games, if not the worst. Combine that with fan service galore through multiple unlockable dresses. See Final Fantasy X-2 for the basis of that idea, although it's worth noting that it's more effective here due to the fact that stat boosts can be acquired via amps that you can craft to make experience go faster or be given more resistance, as well as crafting weapons or items needed for quest or basic survival through the game's workshop. But if these dresses rip during battle by taking enough hits, you'll lose your defense completely. Yes, you'll gain your cheesy Japanese fan service, but at the cost of your first maiden dying and constantly per turn, especially if you don't have another outfit you can be in complaining of the fact that she's naked. Yes, the game is even aware of you at times. If you tilt the camera during the hub world during quest to get you a nice panty shot, the game will openly recognize it. The character will cover up and say a cheesy line of dialogue to dilute your perversion. It's funny, yes, and slightly meta, also yes. And the characters are voiced well. but the dialogue and especially the in-battle commentary can get annoying and strenuous. Yes, because every battle is broadcast in this world, you are actually given in-battle commentary by one of the sub-characters in the game, Ayumi, who commentates the battle's every function, from stat changes, the victories, the big combos. She'll be talking up your team along the way. Sure, in the early game, the commentary is critical to learn if you have different stat problems or if a character is near death, which still makes it useful to be on. Just understand, it's going to bother you. Like the affection system is. Talk gains more actions through disc analysis and special attack variants that he can gain via that same system, but it's largely underutilized. Sadly, that's the point with a lot of Omega Quintet, which makes it a less than recommendable game despite the fact that I'm a fan of this company. The two games they've made post this game are far superior games. And even the games before this one are far superior games. A lot of good ideas, including a pop video music video making system, are in this game, just not utilized to their fullest. Plus, the true ending requirements could make your entire experience worth the drain. Drain of your mental psyche and your money. That's why Omega Quintet gets a 4 out of 10. It's the weakest Compel Heart game that I have played thus far, and a real disappointment. This Verse Maiden should stay retired. Until the next Kadic reviews, I'm Nirvana Sparkle. Find peace in your own Nirvana, and thanks for watching.